The best of Money Matters. Right Business.
Welcome to The Right Business, where we dive deep into the stories of trailblazers who dare to disrupt the status quo, find the gap in the market to find the right business. Hello, I'm Hongbin Jeong. Now, in recent years, Southeast Asia has seen a surge in small and medium-sized enterprises and startups. Yet, one major challenge for entrepreneurs is managing working capital, balancing business growth with cash flow. Recognizing this need, former Lazada CMO Andrea Baronchelli and a team of ex-Lazada executives founded Aspire, an all-in-one finance platform for modern businesses. Aspire is building business banking for a new generation of entrepreneurs and business owners in Southeast Asia. In Southeast Asia alone, there are over 39 million underserved SMEs when it comes to financial services, and Andrea and I will be talking about how Aspire is working to better serve their needs. So joining me today to share more is Andrea Baronchelli, who's a co-founder and CEO of Aspire. Andrea, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
All right. You founded Aspire back in 2018, Andrea, and 7 years later, Aspire tripled its annualized total payment volumes to about 25 billion US dollars from over 50,000 businesses across the region. What inspired you to start Aspire back then, and what were some of the key challenges or gaps that you identified in the market that led to the creation of Aspire?
I was lucky enough to get exposed to this new generation of business owners via my chapter at Lazada, where we were working with a very digital cohort of entrepreneurs and business owners. And it was very clear that they wanted a new way to manage their finances, which was digital first with good UI and UX and very simple to use. And so that was a bit the inspiration, right? We got the first and direct feedback from clients and business owners, and so we decided to build for them.
I see. So how does your platform simplify financial processes for startups and SMEs, and what makes it more, efficient compared to traditional banking or other financial tools?
There are three main sort of topics. The first topic is related to connecting workflows, account payable and manage and account receivables, which are typically accounting topics, with cash flows, which are typically payments topic or banking topics, and putting it in the same solution. And typically, SMBs are using on average 7 scatter solutions. We put it all together in the same stack. The second relates to convenience. So SMBs want convenience. They don't have a lot of resources and time to be wasted. And so we put together the best convenience bundle with very fast onboarding, best CX and UX in the industry, and super high quality customer service. And the third thing relates to a new generation of capabilities that we call modern capabilities that put together transparent pricing, global features, and interoperability so that the system operates across all the other possible integrations and tools that you might need seamlessly, not in silo. So these are the 3 ways that we make their life easier.
I see. Well, then how do you tailor Aspire solutions to cater to the specific needs of entrepreneurs in APAC and beyond?
I think we have client insights groups, right? So we run multiple surveys and interviews every month, and we listen to what are the pain points from various users. And this is what enabled us to put together a very scalable global financial stack solution with localized functionalities that address very specific needs in the markets that we serve.
I see. Well, Andrea, then are there any specific success stories or feedback from your clients that highlight the impact of these solutions on their operations?
I think we hear a lot of stories about streamlined processes, people that needed 3-4 resources to close the books or to process payable receivables, back office solutions that can save costs, third-party tools, and outsourcing. We hear a lot of savings for payment effects. And we hear generally a very, very strong feedback in terms of customer support, ability to reach and provide inputs on new features that makes the experience completely different, from traditional, incumbent financial institutions.
I see. Well, Andrea, your journey spans multiple continents and industries, from banking in London to being part of Lazada's initial team, covering multiple roles within the organization, eventually co-founding Aspire. Can you walk us through how these, diverse experiences shaped your entrepreneurial vision?
I think I've been exposed since let's say, early in my journey to a very, very diverse set of inputs, from geographical inputs. My first professional chapter was in Europe in banking, to different degrees of life cycle, from seeing journeys across different life cycle and needs, to different industries as well, right? As you mentioned before, I from a typical finance background, I moved to marketplace and commerce models, and now I'm building in fintech. And so overall, this set of experiences brought in a very strong self-awareness and growth mindset, always questioning what we do and trying to improve at every step of the way.
I see. Well, you mentioned the challenge of lacking fintech expertise when you first started Aspire. What were the pivotal moments or decisions that allowed you to bridge that knowledge gap and get your startup off the ground?
Yeah, I think this is very interesting in the sense that fintech is a, let's say, knowledge-deep industry. And there was a lot to learn when we started the company. And so a couple of things that helped a lot was a phenomenal network at the beginning. We started and we got funding initially from US incubator called Y Combinator, which is one of the most notable incubators globally. And we got an enormous network of people that understood the industry and could guide us and give us the right level of support and coaching on what this industry has a specific needs and expertise. And the second was iterating very quickly with customer groups and cohorts. So we started to really get closer to the needs of the clients. Obviously, in fintech, clients are typically managing money. So you start to understand those use cases, the pain points, and how to address those. These are two things that made the most difference in the journey to transition from, again, an industry that was closer to commerce to an industry that is very money-driven, money-related.
I see. Well, Aspire has grown rapidly, securing over $100 million in Series C funding. What were some of the key challenges you faced in those early days of building the company, and how did you manage to overcome them?
I think the first phase of the company was about finding product market fit, which means finding a set of clients that loves you and want to refer more, and finding that wedge into the market. That was critical and took us some time. And it's one of the very, very critical and important steps of every new business, every new venture. The second was navigating the trust building needed for a fintech to operate well, right? Fintech naturally moves money, and so it requires us to build a lot of credibility in the market, both by serving well our existing clients, but also doing marketing initiatives and having the blessings of institutions we work with and hiring strong teams. This was the second thing that was challenging post product market fit.
I see. Well, what have you learned then about building a business here in Singapore, particularly during its startup Death Valley phase?
I think everything goes back to, and it sounds sometimes cliche, but it goes back to understanding the client's pain points, right? Understanding exactly what you are trying to solve. Sometimes is a mix of quantitative data points of behaviors that you observe in your clients' behaviors. So sometimes it's qualitative. It's literally sitting down with a couple of clients over a coffee or over a focus group and hear their stories. Understanding why they decided to use Aspire, what went on in their head. Staying very close to this, the basics, is what probably allowed us to prosper in a period where a lot of businesses struggle. And I think this would be my most important advice and insights about this period.
I see. Well, Singapore's funding landscape has been through some significant ups and downs here. What challenges did you use to secure capital during a particularly tough funding winter, and what advice can you give other founders facing similar challenges?
I think during funding winter or during a particularly tough macro environment, what is important is to always have a very synergic perspective, connecting the narrative and the equity story that is needed long term, right? What is the vision? What is the idea? Where are we trying to go as a company? Which definitely it's important, with a much more practical standpoint in terms of how do I make money from the existing clients? Right? What are the economics looking like? How can I articulate the business model in very simple terms? And not trying to get away with just the narrative and the vision, because it's very hard during this macro downturn. So that's how I typically approach it.
I see. I see. Hiring seems to be, a theme in your entrepreneur advice. How do you ensure that you're hiring the right people to scale the business? And what qualities do you look for in a candidate who would fit the Aspire culture?
We have a very strong talent sort of first mindset, and our view is that to build an enduring company, the only way is to have a very high talent density, and in turn, the only way is to create a very special place for them, because talent has choices, right? And they need to choose you. And so that's the philosophy. So how can Aspire be a special place for talent? And we always say it's typically about alignment. We are committing to align towards a vision, a mission, and cascading down to quarterly OKRs that everybody understands very transparently. The second is committing that every person that joins Aspire has the best possible colleague that we could find. This is about growth mindset, role-specific expertise, cultural alignment. And the third thing is empowering, making sure that whoever joins Aspire knows that we are there to make them successful. We are here to make sure that they achieve their goals and try to remove obstacles from the way.
I see. So what are some of the most exciting opportunities you see for Aspire and the broader fintech ecosystem in APAC and globally?
I think an interesting theme generally is the theme of integrating the financial services with accounting and workflow automations. This is one of the most exciting sort of trends that we've seen in business finance. And this is about connecting what used to be very siloed. Imagine a separate bank account that an SMB we would use, with tools to manage their account payable and receivables, their budget, their approval flows. And one of the biggest theme in the industry is the aggregation of these two topics together with AI as an enabler, helping the SME, their finance teams, and in general stakeholders involved in finance processes to make better decisions, save money, and be more in control of their costs.
I see. And before we let you go here, Andrea, what's next for Aspire in 2025 and beyond? Are there new expansion plans in the pipelines?
A lot of expansion plans. I think we are expanding both from a product standpoint. We are always strengthening the ecosystem, building in-house, but also making sure that our product is more and more interoperable with tools that SMBs like to use and our clients like to use, but also geographical, right? And we continue to expand to new geographies so that we can serve our existing clients across their group of entities, and also be present in new markets. So these are basically the axes of growth, and we're very excited about 2025 and beyond.
I see. Well, thank you so much, Andrea, for joining me today.
Thanks, Hongbin, for having me.
Thank you. That was Andrea Baronchelli, who is the co-founder and CEO of Aspire, a Singapore-founded all-in-one finance platform for modern businesses. This has been The Right Business with me, Hongbin Jeong.
To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.